So we're doing another test today, another 32-bit float test. Instead of running this through the external input on here, I'm running it through the side using a Y cable going into the two XLRs. In theory, we should be able to get 32-bit float out of here as long as it doesn't clip on the receiver, which it very well might, but sometimes practice is not the same as working. It is clipping on the X8 right here, as you can see, but we want that because if it clips here, since it's recording in 32-bit float, we should be able to bring that back down. So, you know, we're gonna see about that. And recording internally and using the actual battery, because using the dummy battery connected to the AC power now, that for some reason the camera keeps turning off and we've lost about, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes something worth of recording and me yelling and screaming and cussing. So you're welcome for me cutting all of that. Let's take a fucking dab. We're getting it hot. Oh, fucking this dab is too big. But I can really use that now after all the frustration with this goddamn camera, well, with the AC adapter thing. And we're almost there. 4, 3, 2. Let's dab it. Dab, baby. Let's dab that dab. Dab that dab all day and make some gravy. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. Gravy, gravy. Pancakes and gravy, baby. Oh, how many it is after that? It was a pretty nice dab. That dab was suicidal. I need some Scooby snacks, because it's a ghost. Ooh, yeah, now I'm baked. Even if you have, even if you need, I don't mean to stare, we don't have to breed. We could plant a house or we could build a tree. I don't even care, we could have all three. She said, I'm gonna let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine. Heaven let a light gonna shine on me, I'm gonna shine. Come on and shine. I want a perfect home. You know, I probably don't need the little furry. I am sorry for touching you. I am sorry for touching you guys without your consent. I am sorry. I just touched you guys without consent again, and I am really sorry about that. Wiping my balls down, making the gravy, baby. Gravy is my baby. The gravy's for making gravy, baby. Panic, 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 panic. I'm not gonna ask, you ask. Panic, panic, panic. What's next? What's next for this relationship? Do we go take a shit? That is 100, 1,000. That is where the relationship takes it to the next level. Is when you shit together. I am a bad man, baby. I am a bad, bad man, baby. 3, 2, 1. What's going on? Who are you? What are you fucking people doing in my room? What are you doing in my fucking room? How did you fucking get in here? You know? More importantly, how did you fit inside the fucking camera? Call! Grab a tip, grab a tip. That does look better, you know, having the camera above my monitor like that, but I'm still not pleased with this solution, and for whatever reason, using this, using the dummy battery with this setup, the camera keeps turning itself off. I assume because of the dummy battery, but it doesn't make any fucking sense because it doesn't do that when I've had it on the magnetic thing. It didn't do that in the living room shooting with KB Bakes. Only when I set it up right here. And again, you know, I checked for slack. There was plenty of slack, nothing pulling on nothing. But I am the type of motherfucker that gets on a messenger call with somebody and they can't see me and I can't figure out what's going wrong. So I just think, okay, well, they did something wrong on their side, until I realized that I never clicked on the little camera icon down in the bottom left corner. You know, I am that type of guy. I'm that type of guy. I'll take you back to the 80s, baby. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what nobody says when you talk about hip hop. The 90s were fucking great. But the 80s was my shit. The 80s was my shit. Well, I mean, we're talking about old school Cool J, Mo D. I'm talking about Chuck D, KRS, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. You know, that was a special era of hip hop. That was a very special era, the pioneering era of hip hop. 101,000. I just mentioned this on a discussion on Facebook, you know, how most people act like they completely forgot about Mo D nowadays. And 101,000. More than half probably of the entire hip hop industry back then would not have existed and would probably not exist today. I mean, it's hard to say because, you know, we're not time travelers, blah, 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 whatever. We can't travel the multiverse. But I'm saying, though, Mo D was responsible for almost everything that we take for granted about hip-hop as we know it, or at least the art of the flow as we know it today. Wasn't nobody rapping in wasn't nobody rapping in triplets before Mo D. Wasn't nobody like really going after their opponent in a battle before Mo D. You know, Mo D put it fucking down, man. 101,000, man. Go back and it's all over YouTube. Go find the battle between Mo D and Busy B back at Harlem World in 81. Yeah. For 1981, Mo D put it down and killed it, you know. So what I'm saying is like bust to bust, you know. There'd be no Buster. Well, I mean, it's unlikely that there would have been a Busta Rhymes. It's unlikely even that Rakim would have developed into, you know, the GOAT, the god of hip hop or flow as we know it, you know. But it was Mo D that laid that foundation that Rakim was able to build his style upon and, you know, go to the length of flow that Rakim went. 100,000 again, you know, nobody does it like Rakim. It's the GOAT. You know, that's the Michael Jordan of hip hop. I like to give those old school pioneers, you know, proper, what do you call it, you know, comparisons, references, or whatever, you know. And Rakim is like the Michael Jordan. And I could probably call Mo D and KRS the Ben Franklins of hip hop. But KRS more for, you know, KRS was like the perfect philosophy incarnation of, you know, or comparison to Ben Franklin in hip hop, and Mo D more on the tinkering end of things, you know. He took concepts to another level, slowed the record down so that you would focus on what he was saying instead of the beat, that inventor side, you know. So I could both compare Mo D and KRS to the Ben Franklins of hip hop. 100, 100. There was a jam that if, you know, I used to bump like a motherfucker, and I still hear it playing in the back of my mind, and I love it. You know, from that early 80s childhood of mine. But motherfuckers will, you know, you'll laugh at me if you know this song, and, you know, whatever. But we're called Whistle, and this is true. We love to do the things that we're not supposed to do. We don't mean robbing, stealing, or mugging. In fact, don't take it seriously, we're only bugging. Oh, and don't forget Dougie Fresh and MC Ricky D in the place to be. You know, the fucking human beatbox. That's why I hate the list that, you know, came out. I know everybody is hating on that list. I don't even know who put it out, but everybody talking about that shit of, was it the best 100 rappers or whatever, you know, and the top 10 is all people from like the late 90s to today, and like just skipped over. I think that Rakim is in there, but he ain't nowhere. I think it was Jay-Z was number one, and I'm not taking anything away from Jay-Z. Jay-Z is fucking dope, but you know, there's a whole lot of people that belong before Jay-Z, and I'm sure that Jay-Z would probably agree with me on that. You know, the people that laid the foundation, and there's only one person that belongs in that number one spot, and that number one spot, his name is God. His name is Rakim. You know, he's the only one that belongs in that number one spot. Rakim, nobody else. Nobody else. Mo D and KRS should be tied. Call it a tie as number 2, 3. So it'd just be 2 twos or whatever you do. Because they both really belong right up there. And I might even put, well, I don't know if I put Big Daddy Kane quite as number 4, but he's close up there. The only one from the late 90s, or at least that kind of hit the scene around the mid to late 90s. Well, actually, I guess Pac really hit the scene in the earlier 90s. What was it, around 93, when Digital Underground finally let him rap, do a whole verse on the same song. You know, now I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girlies used to frown saying damn when I come around. And you know, then he dropped that Brenda's got a baby if my homies call. Was it Tupacalypse Now? You know, and that shit was dope. That shit was dope. Pac would have to be on that top list. You know, you really do think more late 90s when you think of Pac. Whereas with most of my other picks, well, Mo D, you know, didn't really stay on the scene very far into the 90s, but you know, KRS and Ra both kind of, you know, went from the mainstream. But Pac, you know, Pac was Pac. It's just, you know, I don't even really know how else to say that. Just Pac was Pac. But when that Brenda's Got a Baby track dropped, you know, I was all about that shit. Was delivering papers around the time that came out, and I was awarded the Paper Carrier of the Month 1 month while I was delivering newspapers. And they gave me a little $50 gift certificate, and I took it to some record store in Richmond. And just went in there and because I had already started getting into DJing and stuff, and just started picking up records, getting like 2 copies of each one, you know, so I have one for each table. And, you know, that was one of the first ones that I picked up, was the 12-inch for Brenda's Got a Baby. And it had Brenda's Got a Baby on one side, and then it had If My Homies Call on the other side. And I would probably consider, you know, putting Pac at number 4 or number 5. Because Pac was Pac, you know. There will never be another Pac, just the same as there's never gonna be another Rakim, there's never gonna be another KRS, there's never gonna be another Mo D. In that same respect, there's never gonna be another Cool J, or Dougie Fresh, or Slick Rick, MC Ricky D. I think one of the worst things to ever happen to the hip-hop industry is record company people. Especially after NWA dropped that shit straight out of Compton, you know. Those record company people, kids watch your back, because I think they smoke crack. I wouldn't doubt it. Look at how they act. 100, you know. They saw that gangsta rap shit. They saw dollar signs, and, you know, they flooded the marketplace with new gangsta rap acts. And a lot of it was great. Don't get me wrong. You know, I love some of that old shit. Ghetto Boys and motherfucking Mr. Scarface went rocking down the block. Out jumped the fiend, and smokes up all his rock. And, you know, even the gangster rap, or I guess you'd technically call it street rap by today's standards, whatever, but, you know, gangster rap, you know, that people forget about today, back in the 80s with Ice-T and Colors and I'm Your Pusher, you know, Just Ice, you know. I'm just saying, people was reporting what was going out on the street since back. It's just that, you know, mainstream focus toward hip-hop doesn't remember that shit. And they damn sure don't remember Africa Bambaataa protecting an entire, you know, fucking subsection. Hip-hop is everywhere now, and it is beautiful, you know. I know there's going to be a lot of gatekeepers that are going to say a lot of different things than what I just said, but let me tell you 100. Hip-hop was meant to bring people together. You know, celebrate, have a party, you know. That's what hip-hop was all about in the beginning. And having some fun, getting up on stage, ripping it up. For all of the bullshit, you know, I had to hear from extended family and, you know, teachers and adults in general growing up, that rap is crap, you know, rap is gonna be dead in 20 years, nobody's gonna remember it, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they always make the example of, what you call it, you know, bubblegum music. And, but they talk about bubblegum dying, but neither bubblegum rock nor disco, either one truly died. They just evolved into other genres. The influence of disco and the influence of bubblegum, you know, some of the bubblegum actually went and influenced a lot of punk, or the, what would, I guess you call it, the pop punk that came later through the 90s and whatever. But that's a whole nother wave and a whole nother ocean. But your first instinct after hearing that all your life, when you see a country artist rapping, or, you know, the same people that, you know, used to talk all the shit, it's actually a beautiful thing. I will say that I miss the style and the kind of hip hop that I had when I was a kid. But that's, you know, part of that is because I was a kid. You know, that's what I literally grew up with. So, you know, every generation talks that shit about the next generation's music. And I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be okay boomer. Because if you got a thing that you like, even if it's something that I can't stand, that's gravy, baby. That is gravy. Enjoy your thing. Enjoy your thing. I'm just a half brain dead, stoner, fat dude, you know, sitting around being all weird all the time. And, you know, but I'm just doing my thing. Just doing my thing. Literally, just doing my thing. I don't even know what the fuck this is. This was all just supposed to be a test, and now I'm sitting here rambling for hours and hours. I was just recording a test, and it's been 84 years. That was 84 years ago. I'll roll them dice, baby. I will roll yo dice. I will roll yo dice, baby. I'm nice like that. I'm nice. I'm nice. I need to trim or do something with this fucking beard, man. I don't know how this beard looks this fucking scraggly. Like I literally just washed it last night, and it's all over the place. It is all over the place. My beard is all over the place. Running away. It's running away, man. Fuck. How did you get into my apartment? You never answered me that question. You never answered that question, how you got into here. How you got into my apartment? Get. Go on, Bo. Get. But yeah, I will reiterate that shit too, because since I got way the fuck off a track. Hip-hop belongs everywhere. I don't care for acts like, was it Georgia State Line or whatever? You know, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. But the fact that they, you know, some of those groups now incorporate rapping into their art and their genre, their music, their groove, you know, that is cool. That is cool. That is how you bring cultures together and grow as a society. So I guess I'm just gonna stop now. I'm just gonna stop, baby. I am just gonna stop. I am done. I am fucking done. This was supposed to just be a simple little test, and we were sitting here recording for like 24 years. So, bye. See you later. Bye. See ya. And if you caught me at the beginning of this video and stuck around this long, the miracle of cannabis. The miracle of cannabis. Bye. Take 430 fucking thousand. Okay, we're gonna try this again. And I guess the dummy battery that I bought for this camera to hook it up to the AC power is just a piece of shit because the camera keeps fucking turning off. All right, we can't put that in the fucking video. Ah. Sherby derby dirt. Nicey, nicey, nice. Splicey, splicey, splice. Oh, somebody text me. Jordan here again. Your coupon code is texting beacons or texting becoys or something is expiring soon. This is your chance to redeem it. To redeem it and unlock your savings. HTTPGPAI something HLMNOP. Word up, says Timmy number 2. New arrival for Timothy. Captain Crook's House of Perv. Follow Ronnie D, Osa, and other motherfuckers that you may know. Okay. Email. eBay. Joshua at Plugin Boutique. Live stream. Enabler McGee. Download complete. Expect rain about 1 MP. M. Postern Meridian or